Welcome to my skeptical sister.
I'm Erin the believer.
I'm Megan the skeptical one. Did you forget what you were for a minute?
It sounds weird going that order. I always go second.
You just made this look like, wait, which one am I? Am I the skeptical one or am I the believer?
No, I have no doubt I'm the believer. It's just that as soon as you went first and I said it second, it sounded, the flow was off.
Yeah, our feng shui.
Yeah. Did it sound good to you? It sounded so weird to me.
I thought it sounded flawless. It was just that twinkle in your eye of like, what are we doing?
No, yeah. I just think I need to end with believer, no matter who says welcome.
Oh, listen, you got to get that last word.
That's me.
Oh, too funny. So how's your week been?
My husband has COVID, so that's a lot of fun.
Womp, womp, womp.
I know. It's very annoying, but he's fine. He's tired and
Yeah,
whatever, but overall he seems okay.
well, that's good. Thank goodness for that vaccine then.
I know. I am really shocked that we don't have it yet. We've been getting tested every day and we don't have it somehow. I'm knock on wood. But
Yeah.
So far negative.
But he's vaccinated too, so imagine how bad he would feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I know everybody else is just so ready for this to be done.
I know. And I'm just refusing to talk to Jewel anymore because every time I talk to her, she's like, yeah, I was listening on this one educational podcast where they're like predicting. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I need to live in the bliss of thinking it'll be over soon. And if you're going to tell me anything otherwise, I don't want to hear it.
No, I don't want to hear it.
So here we are.
Yeah, there we go. So instead, let's talk about things that freak us out.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Other than COVID.
Right. That does freak me out. And at this point, not only does it freak me out, I'm just so annoyed by it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It does freak me out. I don't want to downplay it. I know that, it is a very scary situation, but I'm also just like pissed.
Super annoyed. Yeah.
I'm like holding rage. I'll go to Kroger. I was telling you this already, but I went to Kroger the other day, standing in this Kroger pharmaceutical line that was like 15 people deep. I stood there for over 30 minutes with like barely moving. And half the people weren't wearing masks, and I just wanted to shake them and be like, this is why we're here. Just put on a mask and be done with this.
I know.
It's very frustrating. But
It is very frustrating. You know what else is really frustrating?
What?
That every time we're together, which is often, you want to tell me about a show.
I know.
But you won't.
I know. I'm so excited to finally tell you about the show.
Yes, it's been frustrating.
I know. You're going to love it.
Okay. What is it? I'm ready.
Okay. It's called Invasion on Apple TV.
Oh, I definitely have not seen this.
I don't feel like I've heard anybody. I feel like I've not heard anybody say a single thing about it.
Okay.
Clearly, Apple has so much money to burn. This is like movie theater, like big time drama, big time action.
Oh, I'm so excited.
The character development is so freaking good.
Really? That's my favorite.
I know. I was like, Megan's going to love this show. So it's all about this alien invasion.
Okay.
And you follow about 4 or 5 different storylines from all around the world.
Oh, okay.
Like, how is this affecting this person? How do these people find out about it?
I love these stories.
Yes. And as a bonus, we're sitting there watching the show.
It's a show, not a movie?
Yeah, it's a show. I think there are 10 episodes. Kevin and I just finished it. We're sitting there watching the first episode, and all of a sudden I go, that's my friend Emily. My friend Emily, who is an actress.
Oh my gosh, the one that was in Orange is the New Black.
Yes, Emily Althouse, if she's listening. I'm sure she's not, but if she is, that would be so cool.
You need to reach out to her. She needs to. That's our in.
Right. I don't mind dropping her name because she's an actress. I'm sure that helps.
We're dropping her name right now.
Yes. It was so exciting. I want to go back and watch that opening. I mean, it's not the opening scene, but it's like in the first 10 minutes.
Wow.
But I was so distracted. Like, I think that's Emily. And then I kept looking because she was made up all different. I was like, I think that's Emily. I'm going to look. And I kept looking. And I was like, that's Emily. That's totally her. I was so excited. But the show itself is so good. And you know me and how things need to happen for me to care about a show.
Right.
It took several episodes before I'm like, things are finally happening. But I was hooked like from the start.
Ooh, this is going to be a good one.
I have never immediately hated a character in any show so passionately. And poor Kevin, the whole time I kept having to be like, well, I hope he dies. Like I kept going on. I kept, just talking shit about that guy.
Just because he was a man?
Oh no, not just because he was a man, but let me tell you, that did not help. Oh, you're going to hate him so bad. Like, I can't wait for you to watch it so you hate him as bad. Because Kevin does not say a word during shows.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand how people do that. I'm
Me neither.
so annoying to watch anything with. Unless you want to be our Patreon, in which case.
Oh, then we're a total blast. That's kind of the point. We talk over it.
Yes, exactly. We're playing upper strings here. But no, I kept being like, oh, this son of a bitch. And Kevin is like, just sitting there. I'm like, oh, you better think he's a son of a bitch.
Right.
He is.
So is he one of those characters that you love to hate?
Oh, I definitely love to hate him.
Okay. But you don't find any redeeming qualities in him.
I mean, I don't want to give anything away.
Okay.
You love his wife. His wife she's such a badass. She's so great.
Oh my gosh. I already feel like I'm watching it.
I know, it's so good. I cannot wait for you to start watching it.
Okay.
It's so funny because it jumps from storyline to storyline.
Okay.
And every time it would jump, I'd be like, no, I'm not ready I want to hear more of this storyline. But then as soon as it would get into that one, I was like, ooh, yeah, I forgot about these people. And then I was right back into it.
I love it. That's perfect for my ADHD.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a little bored. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go all over.
Oh, it is so good.
That is great. I cannot wait. Invasion
on Apple TV.
And I'm so glad my friend Monica hooked me up.
I know. Thanks, Jewel. I can't afford Apple.
Right?
Not that we don't pay for it. Apple Corporation. Please don't look into anything.
No, we totally 100%. We'll see if Big Brother really is listening after this episode.
It'd be so sad.
It would be so sad. We might need to cut all that. Well, okay. So I have been watching so many interesting shows. I wasn't going to do it because I bore you with it all the time, but I have to plug this because I feel like we have a big fan base of busy moms out there, or just people who are busy in life and need this show in their life because it has changed my life.
Okay.
And no pressure. No pressure.
I'm only laughing because I know what it is.
I know. Okay. And it's so boring, but it's okay. I am not bored by it. I get so passionate about it. I tell Erin about it all the time. She will not watch it. She is rebellious and is not going to do it, but that's okay. So it is Jamie Oliver's Quick and Simple on Hulu. I better make sure that's what it's called.
I think the problem is that TikTok has ruined me. And now I'm like, if you can't show me this recipe in 3 minutes, I do not care.
He does.
3 minutes, Megan, not 10. 3.
It's not like a full, like this one that tonight was 5 minutes. I guarantee you he showed me how to do it in 5 minutes. Okay, hold on. It is Jamie Oliver's Quick and Easy Food. And it is, Erin, quick and it's easy. Every recipe he shows you has only 5 ingredients, plus the basics like olive oil, all that stuff's not included, but 5 main ingredients.
Yeah.
So that is what I love about it because I can remember 5 ingredients when I'm in the store. I'm like, I know I need these 5 things.
Yeah.
I plan out my entire week based on these things. I mean, my new routine is that when I come home from work, I hurry up and put it on to that one little episode that I now have all the ingredients that I bought for the weekend. And I watch it really quickly. And then I go and I make it. And every single meal, I've made probably 6 meals from the show, has been amazing. Like James, you are like a chef. I'm like, I've always have been, James, but now I really am like a chef because I'm making things. And he also teaches you quick little hacks that you didn't know. You're like, man, now I can cook like this forever.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
All right. I don't know why I'm so rebellious against it.
Really are, but I swear you would love it. Of course, I love cooking shows just in general.
Yeah, I don't. That's probably why.
Yeah, that's probably, it's like me and reading. Like you're like, read this good book. And I'm like, no, you just tell me about it. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I like cooking competition shows, but only when they're cutthroat like Top Chef. I don't like sweet shows like the Bake Off thing that everybody watched.
Oh yeah, the Great British Bake Off.
No,
I love it.
I can't watch that.
Oh, I love
Put me
it.
to sleep. No, thank you.
Oh, that's what I love about it. It's so relaxing.
No, I don't like to be relaxed when I watch TV. I like to be
clearly
kind of stressed.
Mine is like quick and easy food. Yours like mine's invasion.
I'm like, I need aliens. I need to hate someone with fury.
I love it. Okay, well that was my quick and easy little recommendation. I'm trying to think. There were a couple other ones that I watched, really not worth mentioning, I don't think.
Yeah, I started watching the new murder mystery show on Netflix with Kristen Bell?
Okay, I finished the whole thing. That's the one I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm only 4 in, so I mean, don't spoil anything anyways, because
I won't spoil anything other than there are some parts that I like audibly out loud said, this is so stupid.
yes. Like the way the backstory of her daughter
was so stupid.
So stupid. So stupid that I was like, are they purposefully making it so silly that it's not sad?
Yeah, because like that would never happen in the world. And I told James that I think that it's because it was a book. Like it had to have been a book. It's one of those that like sometimes you can watch a movie and you don't know that it was written from a book. This I'm like, they stuck so closely to this weird ass book that you can tell this was a book before it was a movie. Yeah. I guarantee it. Right down to the title. The title is like 10 lines long.
Well, I think that that's like a play on the fact all of those books that are like the girl on the train and the girl who blah blah blah, and this is like a play on putting all of those together. Yeah. I can't tell if it's supposed to be like completely satire or it's so weird.
Yeah, I don't think it's satire. I just think it's supposed to be kind of quirky at times.
Yeah.
And then I can't give you a very famous person comes in at the very end of it who is older.
Uh-huh.
And you can tell it's supposed to be a significant part. So I'm almost wondering if like this was a remake of a movie, like maybe like a 1960s movie.
Was it Angela Lansbury and Murder, She Wrote?
No, it was Glenn Close.
Oh, well, you ruined it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
You just said like you weren't going to tell me.
I wasn't going to tell you how she came into the story, but she does come into the story. Should I?
I don't know. I don't know if I need to cut that. Is it a big spoiler?
No. I mean, you could just tell like nothing really happens, but you're like, you can tell it's like, oh, like, such a big name to show up for such a small role makes me think, I bet Glenn Close was like in the original, whatever this is, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anyway, it's silly. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It didn't never scare me and I think it was supposed to at certain parts, but like I said, it was entertaining. I love Kristen Bell. She cracks me up.
Yeah. She was funny.
Yes. But it was just a bizarre twists and turns and a lot of them were really stupid.
Okay, I need to finish it and then I'll have more to say.
Okay, definitely. All right, so there's our, suggestions for the week.
I know, boy, we packed a bunch in there.
We haven't talked about TV in a while.
I really needed to talk about Invasion. Oh my gosh.
Erin and I were at the Science Museum with our kids and she's sitting there. We're doing like this magnetic thing and there's like, like the little magnet
like liquid in a jar of water. So yeah. Like liquid magnets.
And of course, they look like they're alive, because you're moving them all over. And she's like, ooh, this reminds me of a show. And I was like, what show? And she's like, I can't tell you. I'm like, you are horrible. Then just quit saying it.
Oh, it's so good. Once you watch that part, you're going to be like, oh, I see what she's talking about.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, that's good because we're out of shows. So
you're both going to love this one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only have we been watching really exciting TV, we also did something very cool this week.
Yes, we got to get together for a second time in 1 week because we were asked to be guests on another podcast.
I know. I feel so fancy.
I know. We're like famous. People are now asking us to join their podcast.
Yes. Our friend Michaela, who hosts the great show Murder Squared.
It's awesome. Go check it out. Even if you don't want to listen to us, go check it out.
Right. Her podcast is true crime and stories that are very interesting. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, maybe I've heard this. But most of the time, I'm like, oh, I've never heard anything. And even those ones I have heard, I learned something new I've never heard before.
Yeah. Girl does her research.
Organized, so well researched.
Yeah. And even during our podcast, I was like, oh, she is so professional.
I know. We would be silly. And I was like, oh my gosh, sorry.
Oh, how are we messing her up? We're messing her up.
I know. She's great. And she was so kind the whole time. So she didn't care that we were messing her
up.
Oh,
not at all. Yeah. She kept telling us how much fun she was having, but I was just like, we are ridiculous. And I am ridiculous around you even more.
Yeah.
It's
true.
All professionalism goes out the window when I'm with you because we're just ridiculous together. So yeah, sorry, Michaela, but you said you liked us and you invited us there.
Right. You asked. Your fault. You've listened. You know what you're getting into.
Oh, but it was so fun. And then the story she told was so good.
Yes, it had a little ghostly element to her true crime story that we got to listen to and you got to try to debunk.
You actually told me it was the best I've ever done.
It was a pretty good debunk, but
Okay.
it still could have happened.
Okay. It was a great story, paranormal twist, and just again a story I had never heard before.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was very, very interesting. So, if you want to listen to that episode that we're on, it should be coming out Friday, the day after our episode. I'm pretty sure. So.
Perfect.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to that, it should be out tomorrow if you're listening to this on Thursday night.
Nice.
If you didn't get enough of us.
Yeah, you need a little extra boost to get you through the weekend. It's Murder Squared. It was so much fun. It's always great to just get to sit around and talk to Michaela. It doesn't happen often. So that was fun in itself. And then to get to hear such an interesting story and be a part of it, we had to read a script at one point.
We basically are actors now.
I'm telling you.
Like, what is that Actors Guild? Do we have to start paying money into that?
I think so. Glenn Close, watch out.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, my name is Michaela and I'm the host of Murder Squared. Each week on my true crime podcast, we talk about a different case, a missing persons case, a solved, unsolved, or even just murder. On Murder Squared, we talk about cases that you've probably never heard about before. Sure, you know pretty much all there is to know about Bundy. Maybe you know something about Dahmer, and we've all looked at Kemper a time or two in his crimes. But do you know about the small town murders? Or do you know about that missing persons case that didn't get quite the media coverage it deserved? If those are the cases that interest you, then come on over. Murder Squared is available on all major podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcast and Spotify. If you're interested in listening or hearing more about Murder Squared, hit the link in the show notes provided in this episode today. And as always, stay square, and I'll see you next murder.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into our stories.
Okay. Am I going first or you? Let's go paper, rock, scissors. Ready?
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, it's both scissors.
It's like we're sisters. Like we're scissor sisters.
Ew, I don't think that's okay to say.
I think that's the name of a band.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
I don't know. I'm not scissoring anything. Okay.
No. Ew. Aaron, what do you make things gross? Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Aaron Taylor. Stop. You're watching my hand.
I'm not. It's
Okay.
paper. We both got paper.
It's like we're paper sisters.
Oh.
Okay, ready?
That one's not gross at all.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I
you
win.
got me.
Okay, does that mean you get to go first?
I don't know.
We didn't decide. Okay, I'll read it. So I am really proud of myself because, listen, I'm like, I can put us out there just as much as I can. And if people don't bite like that, I was so bummed. I went to like 10 different UFO sites because I'm like, I want some more UFO stories.
Yeah.
Not a one, not a story. I mean, I was hustling. I'm like writing new stuff. I was doing good. I had lots of likes.
Yeah.
And not one new story. So I'm like, well, screw this. This is not the way to go about this.
Well, maybe those likes turn into listens. So if that's you, then
true.
Thank you.
Yes, for sure. And if you have a story and you're just thinking about it, please send it in. But anyway, I was on one of my ghost story pages the other day and I read this story that I was like, oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
So then I just directly talked to that person and was like, hey, can I read this on the podcast? And they gave me permission. So I'm so glad.
Nice.
And I honestly kind of keep checking because I don't think that they've listened to our podcast. So I keep checking to make sure. I'm like, all up till tonight, I'm like, okay, are they going to say, no, I actually listen to your podcast and never mind.
So dumb.
You no longer have my permission. But as of right now, they've given me permission. So we're going to go for it.
Binding.
Okay, right. All right. This is a good story.
I can't wait.
Now, I did say you could do anonymous or I could say their name, and they never really told me. So I'm just going to leave the name out.
Okay.
In 1961, I was 5 years old. My dad was a farmer in a small town in California. We lived in an old turn-of-the-century farmhouse. It was a large house with 4 bedrooms, but my mom chose to bunk us kids together for whatever reason. So I slept...
One room to clean.
Right, smart mom. So I slept in a bed with my older sister and younger brother. We slept at the top, and he was at the foot in between us.
Did they say they were on bunk beds, or they're just bunking together, as in they're all in together?
Bunked us kids together.
Oh my gosh!
Right,
That is a crowded bed.
That is a crowded bed.
Think about the stinky feet in your face.
Oof.
And
Poor-
the kicking.
Poor kid. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Especially on nights when you're mad at each other.
Oh, yeah. Be like, oops, sorry.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to. Oh, you're going to
sorry.
get mad because of an accident? Ugh.
You're like, Mom, I didn't mean to. Oh, no. That's worth cleaning a couple extra rooms.
Mm-hmm. One summer night, I was laying awake as usual. I've always had insomnia, even then.
Oh, same.
I was lying there with my eyes closed, singing inside my head some stupid kid song.
Mhm.
When I opened my eyes, all of a sudden, this thing came gliding into the room from our kitchen.
Oh, no.
It glided to the side of the bed next to my sister. It was like a man, but its face was stark white.
Oh.
Its eyes were black, empty holes.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Are you picturing this?
Yes.
Ooh.
It's very creepy.
It didn't have a nose, and it had teeth, but no skin.
It's Voldemort.
Oh, it does. I don't know who that is, but I pictured it.
You know who it is.
So I must know
He's
who
the
it
bad
is.
guy in Harry Potter.
Okay, I must have seen it somewhere. A black hooded robe covered its head and body, and all I could see was the face.
Well, now it sounds like what's the guy from Scream? Ghostface.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does. Except for but no skin.
Yeah, but like, okay,
A white face, but no skin. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm picturing something a lot more than Scream. Okay,
Yeah.
like slimy for some reason.
I
or
feel
something.
like the mocking scary movies of Scream,
Mhm.
like the one where you see the ghost
yeah,
face
the
like
smile.
high, it really has ruined that whole genre for me.
Yeah, because it's no longer that scary.
Yeah.
Like, I think back to that, I'm like, oh, because the original Scream was scary.
It was scary.
Yeah. So this thing has glided in,
Uh-huh.
and it's next to her sister,
Oh no.
and she's in the same bed.
Right.
So she's like right next to
At least
sister.
she's got feet. She got sister, brother feet, and then she's by the wall.
Push that sister that way.
Right.
I would never
Take
do
her.
that. Instead, this is what she does. I held my breath, pretending I was dead, so he would leave me alone.
Oh wow.
I don't know how long that thing stood there, but eventually it glided back out backwards. It never turned around, and even at 5, I knew that it was floating. I know. When it left the room, I caught my breath that I had held for so long. I was relieved it was gone. Then my sister groaned, and when she did, that thing floated back in
No.
and again stood beside my sister, but stared at me.
Oh no. That's so
Mhm.
scary.
Oh, it's horrible. Again, I held my breath. Eventually, it floated back out backwards. I caught my breath again, but I didn't get enough breaths in before my sister turned over and made that old iron bed scream. Like they, like
Yeah, like screechy bed.
just super loud.
But it was great writing.
Yeah. Like they used to do before it floated back in again.
Oh my gosh. Wake up your entire
Oh,
bed.
it's horrible.
Wake
horrible.
up every single person in this room now.
And be like, shh.
Yeah,
Don't
shut
make a
up,
sound.
but also be with me.
Yeah, yes, for sure. This time I held my breath and I passed out.
Oh.
So they held their breath for so
probably
long.
for the best.
Oof. The next morning, I got up and went into the kitchen with my parents, but I never told them what had happened to me. I knew they wouldn't believe me, and I knew that my older sister would torment me relentlessly about
Oh, I get it.
it. What do you mean?
Uh-huh. Someday you'll start a podcast with her.
Scaring me every night. So I kept silent about it. Then, okay, this is where it gets real hard to debunk.
Okay, all right.
Because up until this point,
Yeah.
I would have said dream,
Uh-huh.
5-year-old active imagination,
Right,
like
okay.
all these things, whatever.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you have a hard to debunk part.
Okay, I think I still can, but it is like, whoo, okay. Then on Christmas Eve, my dad brought in our first television set. We were so excited. When my dad finally got it hooked to the outside antenna, my mom started looking for a movie to watch. She found the movie A Christmas Carol. We started watching it as the angels took Scrooge through his life, and when it got to the third angel, I froze. It was the thing I had seen in my bedroom that night.
Huh.
I asked my mom, "What is that?" She told me it was the Grim Reaper.
Oh.
And
no.
I know. And that he'd come to take souls to hell. I freaked out, but I still didn't tell what had happened. From that first night it happened until I was 13 years old. I slept with my head under the covers because I didn't want to see anything. When I was 17, I decided I wanted my gift back. my gift being able to see spirits. In my early 20s, I got my wish. So I guess for a long time, they were scared of being able to see things.
Right.
But then at a certain age, it was like, maybe I want to see these things again because
Yeah.
I'm old enough, whatever, I guess is what they mean.
Yeah.
When I was in my early 20s, I got my wish. Spirits bombarded me for years.
Oh.
They liked to jump out at me and come home with me. There were always spirits around me. I haven't seen one now for the last 6 years. I'm not sure if I've lost my ability or if I'm just not around any spirits. I'm not sure. Anyway, I hope I described things in a way that you could understand what happened to me. Thanks for reading.
So do you think the Grim Reaper was there for her sister?
I don't know.
Or for her because she was holding her breath?
I don't know. I think that if I believed in the Grim Reaper,
Uh-huh.
possibly. But because I don't, here's where my debunk goes.
Okay.
And I also want to say this because within the exchange that I had with this person, I made sure to assure them that I would be very respectful
Yeah.
of their story. And I hope that I always am. I mean, if I'm not, somebody needs to call me out.
Other than me.
Other than you. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, because I won't believe you. But no, for sure. If I ever read somebody's story and they're like, you were careless with it, I mean, let me know because I would like to A, apologize, and then B, make sure I don't do that again. So with this debunk, I want to say this is just my skepticism at its fullest.
Uh-huh.
Because when I read this, I'm like, whoa. So I'm having to search for this debunk.
Okay.
But that's what this podcast is at the same time. So if I had to go, I might go with like a 5-year-old memory that has over the years been kind of distorted.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe the Christmas Carol came first that they watched, or the movie came first, and then that experience happened next.
Yeah.
And so now that they're older and telling the story, it seems so like, oh my gosh. And then I saw, because our memories as we get older aren't as lucid as they once were when it happened. So that's kind of my debunk, is that I would imagine you watch that movie and then the next night you had this scary dream that this thing kept coming back and forth and back and forth. But that's because I don't believe in the Grim Reaper. So
to me, it sounds like if I had to try to figure out like what was it doing there, if it really did happen, my first thought was that it was there for the sister. But then instead, it's almost like because it came, the person writing the story is the one who is actually at risk because they stopped breathing.
Yeah.
So it was like a cause, like what came first?
Yeah.
If it hadn't showed up, they wouldn't have stopped breathing. There would be no cause for any concern. And so like maybe they were like, oh, okay, I'm gonna back away. I'm not ready for them yet. And then they heard that, that sigh that the sister did. And they're like, wait a minute. I thought that, they came back like, oh, they are ready. That was like a death rattle or something.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that also begs the question, if the Grim Reaper is real, then what is the intent of the Grim Reaper? Is it to search for souls that are ready?
Yeah.
Or is it to steal souls?
Yeah. I've never heard steal souls to take him to hell. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I haven't either. I've always kind of thought of the Grim Reaper as kind of being a kind,
Yeah.
sad.
Like, come on, buddy. It's time to go.
It's your time. I mean, maybe it's, I don't know if I've seen a cartoon or something with him like that.
But I think I kind of feel that same way too.
Yeah, like he's just kind of indifferent. He's not positive or negative.
Yeah.
He just comes in and it's like, it's time.
I mean, he does carry a big sickle, which is creepy.
And usually all in black with a hood and a white face.
Yeah,
That's
true.
a little creepy.
I mean,
So maybe our positivity is giving him a little too much credit. I swear, we're like all flowers and stuff. He means well, you guys. Listen, he was not being scary. He was just coming to make sure everybody was good.
Sometimes there's debris and he's got to cut it down before he gets to you.
Yeah, right. I feel like he just floated in there. He's like, y'all good? Everybody's good. Okay, then it's time to go on out. Okay, and then, let me double check.
Oh, that sounded like you could be dying.
Are
Are you
you?
ready?
Oh, nope, you're still not. Yeah, so
I
who
don't know.
knows?
Yeah, he is a trickster in Harry Potter.
Oh.
Death comes and tries to trick the Peverell brothers. There's a whole like
Into
side
death.
stories. Yeah, like he wants to collect their souls.
Okay, so there you go. So that opens the whole door.
Yeah, he is spookier in Harry Potter.
Isn't everything? said with an eye roll and a scoff.
Yeah, I guess so. abracadabra turned into Avada Kedavra, which is the killing curse. Boy, Harry Potter really is
Oh.
creepy. Why am I reading this to my children? So
'Cause
good.
it's good. Yeah. It's fun. I mean, when you're that young, it is so creepy.
I mean, it's so good no matter how
Mhm.
old you are, as long as
Mhm.
you can disassociate the original author with the storyline, you can still love it.
True. Well, maybe. Not me. I am anti.
I wish I could be anti. I do have a tattoo of it
Oh.
on my body forever.
Oh,
Yikes. Oops,
yeah.
sorry.
Think those tattoos through. Paula, since you got our tattoo.
Oh no.
What if one day we really offend you, Paula?
Oh, no.
Then you know what? It doesn't have our logo on it. Nobody will ever know.
That's true. It was inspired by us.
Inspired, but luckily you didn't like put our entire name on there.
Oh goodness. Okay, well, your story was awesome, so I'm glad you got that hustle.
Yes.
Thank you, Anonymous. Our next story is from Charlie, who was our fan favorite the other day.
Oh, nice. Charlie is working hard to be that fan favorite because she sent us pictures of her at her beach house with the biggest crabs you've ever seen that she just caught.
That she doesn't even like.
She doesn't even eat them because she doesn't like them.
I know. She was like, yeah, I don't eat them. As long as they keep my champagne full, I'll peel them for him. I'm like, champagne and crabs?
Yeah. What
Sign me
kind of
up.
life are you living, Charlotte?
Yeah. What did you do? Like, I want to do this.
We clearly went wrong
We're
somewhere.
in the wrong profession. We live nowhere near a beach.
Am I doing my passion? Yes. Did I pick the wrong passion? For sure.
Yes.
I feel like I could be just as passionate with whatever Charlotte does for a living.
Yes.
It allows her to have a beach house, crabs, and champagne.
Yeah, I feel like both of those
Mhm.
are my passion.
Yes.
And I could just pick one. I just don't know how I could afford it.
Yes, I need to. Yeah. Woof. Oh, man, those pictures were amazing. Invited us.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm down. I mean, Charlie, I hope you're legit. I hope you're not like real scary in person because I'm coming.
It's like serial killer Charlie. This is how she like lures them in.
Worth it.
Finds the girls who loves the crab. Such
Totally
a specific. I love to kill girls who like crab legs. Let me find them.
She stumbles across our podcast. She's like, the jackpot.
Ding, 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 ding. I got 2 for 1.
They won't shut up about crab.
It's fine. It'd be worth it.
It really would
give me
be.
a week worth of champagne and crab eating and then kill me. I'd be
If I only have 70% chance that it's legit, I'm
I'd
still
go.
going.
100%.
30% chance you're going to die?
Yeah.
I'd go.
Let's roll those dice and do this.
YOLO. You live once.
YOLO.
Let's check this out.
Oh, I love it. As long as we go together, I'm fine.
Yeah,
It'll
it'll be
be great.
fine. We'll get out. I mean, listen,
Mhm.
if anything goes down, we'll get out of it.
That's right. We're resourceful. Mhm. Mhm. Like rely on our humor. We would not.
Oh,
get
we
far.
would not make it. We would die so fast in a scary slasher movie.
Oh, but we'd laugh doing it.
Right.
Okay.
All right, here we go. There are 2 great Aunt Grace stories.
Oh.
So we're gonna
which one are we
hear-
gonna get? Let's just get one of them.
No,
Save
we
the
got
other?
both. We're going to hear both.
Oh,
Great
okay.
Aunt Grace, number 1.
Okay. Aunt Grace must be spooky.
Ladies, my lifelong interaction with the paranormal started on July 4th, 1977.
Wow. She knows the date.
I know. With the death of my great Aunt Grace
Mm.
while I was holding her hand.
Mm.
Let me set the scene. My mom gets what we call party frenzy the day of an event. So even if you clean really well, she would still go behind you and do it again.
Mhm.
I'm sure that is why my Aunt Grace was vacuuming for the second time that day.
Hmm.
Our house was a split level, so when you walked in the front door, you could either go upstairs or down. This will come into play later. Aunt Grace was at the top of the stairs. She had just gotten done vacuuming round 2 and put the vacuum away.
Mm.
I was holding her hand, and suddenly she was on the ground.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh.
I remember calling to my mom, who was in the kitchen, and her telling me to ask Aunt Grace for whatever I needed. Oh, so her mom is even
Oh,
concerned
man.
right now.
Does she say how old she is in this?
The next line.
Oh.
My 4-year-old self sat down next to my Aunt Grace and
No.
asked her why she fell down, but she wasn't moving or talking.
Oh,
I know, how
man.
scary and sad.
Oh.
I know. I called my mom again, and this time she said, Aunt Grace, can you help Charlotte? Surprise, no answer from Aunt Grace.
Oh,
I yelled that Aunt Grace fell and wasn't answering me. At that point, my mom came to the top of the stairs where I was sitting with Aunt Grace.
oh,
My mom panicked and ran down the stairs to get my dad and her mom, leaving me with the very nice but dead Aunt
oh
Grace.
my gosh, that's
I
awful.
know, that is so sad and scary and like life-changing at 4 years old.
Yeah, a memory you will never forget. Wow.
No. After that, I only remember being shuffled to the neighbor's house for the rest of the day. Poor mom. Super clean house, no party.
Oh.
I feel like your mom might have had a few other things on her mind, but
I don't know. I would kind of be a little bit. If I go to all that effort, I'm wanting that
Oh,
party.
I know.
Oh, man.
When I was 5, I had an appendix attack, which is what happens when your appendix gets inflamed and doesn't rupture.
Oh.
My mom was above my parents' bedroom, which is good when you want them to come to your room because you were afraid of the dark. So you just yell down the heat vent to have them come tuck you back in. I was laying in my bed feeling awful and unable to even get out of bed and trying to yell for my parents via the vent. But I couldn't yell loud enough. I was also so thirsty, but we weren't allowed to have drinks in our rooms.
Oh.
Because, come on, we were kids.
Right?
So here I am, super sick and trying to call for my parents while slowly dying of dehydration when I see a tall lady shape come into my room with a glass of water.
Huh.
What was strange is that she didn't really have a face or clothes. She looked like TV static.
Wow. We've heard that before.
Yeah. Oh, that is so interesting.
It is.
The shape put the glass of water on my windowsill and sat on my bed and put her hand on my forehead. I know, Megan, fever dream. Then the shape called my dad's name, Alan. I do not, nor have I ever called my dad Alan, nor would my sisters. I hear my dad through the vent yelling at my mom, Linda, that they need to check on me. Thank the Lord. Finally, I had been calling those slackers for hours.
Oh man, it makes me feel bad. Like just last night.
Oh no.
Just last night, my 2-year-old, I'm like, it's like 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, she's gonna have to cry it out.
Yeah.
And I just like rolled back over. Eventually I did get up. She was fine. She was faking. Nothing was wrong. She just wanted me to go in there and pat her back. But like, you would feel so bad. Like,
Right.
she's fine. She's fine. She just needs to go back to bed.
Oh, I know.
Ugh, it's
I
awful.
know.
It's such a gamble. You just don't know.
I know. It is awful. I could hear them both coming up the stairs, and as they did, the static lady sort of faded away.
Wow.
My parents ended up taking me to the hospital, where I stayed for a day until they got everything under control, and then sent me home. I was telling my parents about the lady who brought me water in the night and how she was the one who called for Dad, and they both totally Meganed me.
I love it. I'm a verb.
Until we got to my bedroom, which, remember, we were not allowed to have drinks in.
Oh.
The doctors told my mom to keep me hydrated, which meant water in my room, bliss. And when my mom went to put the hospital water bottle on the ledge, there was already a glass of water sitting on it. She turned a bit white and called my sister Cindy, who was 14, into the room, asking her if she had got me water when I was sick. She reminded my mom that she had been staying the night at a friend's house, so it couldn't have been her.
Wow.
And my little sister was 2.5 at the time, so she's out as a possibility. So who brought me that water? I think it was Aunt Grace.
Wow.
It's pretty interesting.
It sure is.
We got an Aunt Grace story number 2.
Okay, let's hear it.
Hold on, I need to drink a beer. Talk about being dehydrated.
You're parched from that story.
All right. Aunt Grace number 2. Aunt Grace stuck around with us the whole time we lived in that house and would make her presence known on occasion. My sisters and I would see a tall woman's dark shape in the hallway of our house with what looked like the orange lit end of a cigarette stick its head into our room like it was checking on us. We were never scared by it as it happened so often. I should say that Aunt Grace was a smoker.
Oh, I put those two and two together. Yeah.
Well, you never know. Remember how I told you that my mom was a crazy cleaner? She and my Aunt Grace had differing opinions on how the blinds should be shut. My mom liked them turned down because she thought they looked better, and my Aunt Grace liked them turned up so that people couldn't look in our windows.
I learned that trick.
Yeah. Ooh, it's so scary.
Yeah.
I am on Aunt Grace's side on this one.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would close all the blinds at night before bed, and they would be turned down, and every morning when she got up, they would be facing up.
If Aunt Grace, the ghost, really did exist, I love that. She's like, I get the last. Like, I'm going to win every
Right.
night.
I know. I wonder if her mom and Aunt Grace are sisters. Like, I wonder if that's how.
So it's her great aunt. So would it be
Oh,
her
it is
her
great
mom's aunt?
Yeah, her mom's aunt.
Which I love that. That would be like me living with Sophie when I'm older. I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah, your kids are like, not with us, Mom.
Yeah. Who's gonna get mom? Sophie, you take her. Maybe I want to live with Sophie. Maybe I like Sophie better than my kids. How come they get to choose? I want to pick.
She would get so mad at us, but believe me, we didn't mess with the blinds. We had a whole slew of other things we did to drive her crazy. It wasn't even on our list. Aunt Grace would also turn on the lights, but only the lights at the top of the stairs where she died.
Oh, wow.
This was handy when I got scared in the night and had to run downstairs to get my mom to put me back to bed. Yay, the lights were on. Thanks, Aunt Grace. My favorite is what Aunt Grace would do with my stepdad's clothes. This is not my dad. They got divorced when I was 6. My mom married Richard, and then quotation, so I think she changed the name.
Okay.
None of us girls liked him, and I'm pretty positive that she married him to make her old boyfriend mad. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. I love this.
And
Tell us more about this story.
And how we call him Revenge Richard.
Oh.
That is really, that's some petty, that's a level of petty. Like, I'll marry this man just to piss him off.
Just to piss him off. Yeah. Mm-mm.
You could have had me. Now I'm going to marry Richard.
Oh.
And nobody likes Richard.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Oh, now we call him Revenge Richard when we tell this story because she was only married to him for 9 months. Richard liked his things, whether it be his fancy shampoo we all use when we showered in his bathroom.
That's great.
Or his members only jacket.
Oh.
These were his things, and he didn't want us touching them. It got to the point where my mom would wash his laundry separately from ours to make sure that his things didn't get mixed up with ours.
Oh, brother.
I know. As frustration levels rose in the house, items of Richard's clothing started to disappear. I mean, as in gone.
Oh.
My mom would tear apart the house. We would tear apart the house because we didn't want to deal with the drama of Richard and his missing members-only jacket.
Ugh.
This went on for about 2 weeks, and there were about 12 items of clothing missing, along with a razor and some polo socks. Things are getting tense, really tense in this house. It's also the middle of winter in Washington State. It's cold and it's wet. So it was a surprise when we got a call from our neighbor below us. She asked why there were folded clothes on the shared fence. My mom does not hang out laundry. My mom takes the phone out onto the deck to see what our neighbor is talking about, and there are Richard's clothes. All his things folded individually and placed along the fence. My mom lost her mind and yelled at myself and my younger sister. Older sister was away at college. How dare you girls do something like this? We didn't. My sister was too small to even think about it, and I was too scared of Richard, so I sure wouldn't have done it.
It's like Parent Trap.
I know.
But like the ghost doing it.
It's Ghost Parent Trap.
It's Ghost Parent Trap.
Oh, man. That's the show I needed.
That's the show you should write.
Oh.
There you go.
Trademark, don't do it. After she collected his things from the fence, rewashed them, grounded me for a week, and gave them all back to Richard, who was very smug, by the way. That's when Aunt Grace really got feisty. She began locking Richard in the bathroom and out of the house all the time. And what was even better is that she would do it when we weren't home, so there was no one to blame. He changed the locks on all the doors at least twice and then took the locks off and only had a deadbolt on the door. Aunt Grace got him every time. I'm sure Aunt Grace wasn't the thing that ended their short marriage, but I like to think she really helped move it along. Aunt Grace will show up again in a later story, but this is all I have time for now. Ta-ta.
Wow. I love Aunt Grace.
I know. And I love like the humor in that whole story.
Yeah. First of all, Charlie, you like crabs. You drink champagne. You're a great author.
She doesn't like crabs, which is actually even better.
Oh, that's right. We
She
get
just
all
has
the crabs.
full access to crabs that she won't try to share with us.
And likes to crack them, though, as long as we
Yeah.
keep pouring the champagne. And you can sit there and be a good storyteller. We're in. Plane tickets. Let's do this.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. Great story. I love it. It was very, it was like watching a movie.
I know. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so my debunk. It reminded me, what is that movie? Fatal Attraction?
Uh-huh.
I think maybe because I put all this together because of his
Wait.
name.
Is Fatal Attraction the one with
She boils the bunny.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Mhm.
Okay.
Glenn Close. Again.
Glenn
this
Close.
Is a Glenn Close episode.
I love Glenn Close. Oh, she's a wild card.
She is. You
Yeah.
never know what you're gonna get.
You never know.
One minute she's Cruella DeVille. 1 minute she's boiling bunnies.
Right.
Oh, they're both about killing animals. Oh, Glenn Close.
Don't
Don't do that.
What you got going on, Glenn? But yeah, I mean, but that's kind of what I mean. Like Glenn's kind of got that, like, she's got a little crazy eyes going on there. You never know what you're gonna get. But I think because she called him Revenge Richard, so it made me think, what if Revenge Richard? I mean, Charlie, you were the one that said you didn't really like him, so I feel like it's okay.
Yeah, I feel like Richard, no hold bar. We can say whatever we want about Revenge Dick. I mean,
that's what I was. Took my joke. I was gonna say I think she nicknamed him Richard for a reason. But I think that he, I think that he like maybe he had an affair with somebody, and so they're coming in and like messing with his stuff and like messing with the lock. I mean, that's if you listen, if you watch Fatal Attraction, that's what she does. Like she comes in and just starts doing small things here and there just to fuck with him a little bit, just to make him think he's crazy and to cause strife in the house, to make it him against his wife. Yeah. So there you go. You could have a Glenn Close sneaking in that house, changing locks, doing little weird things because maybe she's, got the hots for Dick. It's a weird way to put that. For Richard, for Revenge Richard. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But it sounds like Aunt Grace was a character in life and after.
Yeah. I mean, it's more fun dependent on Aunt Grace because like she's like, let's get rid of him and here's how we're going to do it, girls.
Right. Yeah. She's like, nobody likes this guy. Yeah. This was such a dumb move. We're going to fix this.
Right. We got to,
Goodbye.
And 9 months and there it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great story.
The first one with the static in the water.
And saving Charlie's life.
Yeah. That's a good one. It's good.
It is good.
It's so sad it's about her aunt. And that's just, she's torn up. So I can't even go there.
Charlie seems like she can handle it. Bring it on.
Okay. I don't know. I know that all kids break rules.
Okay.
So it could have been a water glass.
But it sounds, the fact that she points out that Alan was the name called, sounds like the dad later was like, yeah, I got called Alan. I heard Alan and I woke up.
Well, and that's where I wonder, like, so if he hears his name Alan and that's what gets him like, okay, I got to go down there and see what it is. But then he himself was debunking it. What did he originally think? Like, what was the Alan that he heard? And then did she hear the woman say Alan?
Yeah, Charlie heard the figure say Alan.
Yeah, I just wonder if in her like desperation of being a little tiny, she called out Alan to try to get his attention. Charlie did.
I don't know. If at 5 years old, I can't.
Yeah, Miles is 5 right now. He knows my name is Megan. He knows James.
My kids, I think, knew my name at 5, but they would never think this will get our attention more.
I don't know. I don't know. Some kids call their parents by their first name.
It specifically says, which I would never call I don't call my dad Alan, and I never have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like a weird thing. You're like already in distress. You're like, I know, I'll use their professional name.
Well, because mom and dad is not cutting it. I can't get their attention with that. I got to get serious. And then maybe the thought, like maybe she like pictured Aunt Grace saying Alan. I don't know. I got to pee so bad. So that's what I'm going to go with. There you go. Saved by the urine.
All right. Well, thank you both for such awesome stories. Those are so good.
Yes, they were great stories tonight.
One was terrifying and one was like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, so it's time for fan favorite. And I went with someone I actually know.
Okay.
My friend Sandy. So I went to college with Sandy.
Okay.
And she was our RA. Is that what they're called?
Oh, yeah.
The person who lived on And she let us get away with crap. I was a goody two shoe pretty much freshman year, but I mean, things went down and she turned a blind eye. But she was awesome. And I have noticed that not only is she,
Present.
in our group and we'll make comments every now and then, she will tag me in things like somebody mentioned a ghost story and she tagged me in it. Or she'll send me, I think she sent me like TikToks a couple times, like, oh, you like this. So I just like that she's always got her eye on things like, oh, Aaron and Megan would like this.
Nice.
So I sent her a message about what could we plug. And she wrote, oh my gosh, Aaron, thank you. I'm so excited. I love listening to you and Megan. Y'all's sister banter is everything. And you gals have really made this time during the pandemic much more enjoyable.
Aw.
The McHenry Summerfest is an annual event located in McHenry, Kentucky. It's the yearly fundraiser for McHenry's Masonic Lodge. The proceeds for the event go to help local children with Christmas wish, bicycle donations to local elementary schools to encourage attendance, scholarships to high school seniors, and laying wreaths on veteran graves in conjunction with Wreaths Across America.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. This event includes a car show, live music, concessions, fireworks, and is free to the community. I'll send their Facebook page link to you. Thank you so much for thinking of me. You girls have a lovely drink podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of, I'll just take a drink.
All right. You told us to. We'll do it.
Thank you for all the laughs and entertainment, Sandy.
Oh, Sandy, I think we need to go.
I know. That sounds fun.
When is that? Let's go. How far is McHenry?
It's a summer event. I don't know. It's in Kentucky. It can't be that far.
Let's do it. I mean, Kentucky. You can drive. You can drive some places in Kentucky. But yeah, let's go. That sounds like fun.
I know. So yeah, I'm gonna post that link.
Yeah. So I guess you can make donations too.
Yes, I think so. And we'll send a little donation over.
Nice.
So I checked out the McHenry Facebook site, and it looks like the festival will be on 6/25/22.
Oh, that's Miles's birthday.
Oh, it sure is.
We could see if he would like to go.
Oh my gosh, he would love to go.
Car show, live music. I feel like those two things are up his alley.
Yeah, that sounds great. It says details are coming soon. So, keep an eye on that if you're local. And if not, if you wanted to donate, because my goodness, they cover so many great causes.
Right.
Check that out. So
nice.
Thank you, Sandy, for the great plug and for your support.
And thank you for being an RA. So this reminds me of
love the segue.
Of a story, yes, of when I went to WKU freshman year. And first of all, we went to like that master plan week.
Yeah.
Which was so ridiculous. The whole time, all I know is that we went to all these seminars, and every seminar they ended it with, you are going to get raped in college.
Yeah.
I mean, it was scare tactics. And I mean, that it's important information. It needs to get out there for sure. But every single seminar, I mean, I'm like, where are we? This is like terrifying. They're like, you go to a party, you will get raped. You walk on campus, you will be raped. You go up to your door. I mean, it was ridiculous. Oh my gosh. But anyway, that's not what the story is about. This story is about how also within that week, our RA, who does not sound as cool as Sandy.
Oh, no.
Does not turn a blind eye. This person, I mean, meant business and was like giving us the rundown of what was not acceptable in dorms.
Oh, no. And
then they said, and do not think that it's going to be cool with your RA to throw a kegger in your dorm. And we're all like who would do that? Like, I remember us like looking around like, well, duh. And he goes, because this actually happened. And then he goes into the story and he's like, one time I worked at PFT, which is a taller dorm.
Which is where I lived with Sandy.
Oh, well, there you go. I bet Sandy knows.
I bet she does.
Okay, well, I don't remember what the RA's name was because I was like,
she probably already knows just from the way you're telling it.
Right. I wonder if Sandy knows the story because it was kind of a legend.
Oh,
around WKU. So apparently, this RA like gets on the elevator, and on the elevator are two guys in togas.
Not a good sign.
So he gets on, he's like, y'all coming from a party? And he's like, hell no, man, we're having a party. Kegger. And then like lifts up, like shows the RA that they're smuggling in a keg. And I can't remember how they did it. It would the story would be a lot better if I remembered how they did it. But anyway, smuggling in a keg, and they're like, don't tell the RAs. And he's like, oh yeah, no, won't at all. And then goes and totally busts the party. Okay. So he's telling the story, right? And then lo and behold, I meet Lick the Neck Andy.
Oh,
Guess who was throwing the toga kegger? Andy.
Shocker.
If you've not listened to I don't know, a couple episodes back, I talk about Andy. He was one of our fan favorites, one of my good friends from college, and he and Robbie Merritt and all of those wild, crazy guys, all of the brothers, the My Skeptical brothers that did the parody of us,
right?
They were throwing a kegger up at PFT.
Gosh.
But the funniest part was that he tells me this before I've ever met them, and then I meet them, and I'm sitting around, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can remember at this party somebody brought up a toga, something. I said, oh, our RA told us some story about, and then they finished the story like, that was us. And they were so excited that they were like a
legend.
Like, well, what's that called? Like a cautionary tale. Like they were the cautionary tale. And so it was so cute. But anyway, so that's whenever I think of RAs, I always think of that toga party,
Yeah.
They went for it.
Whenever I wanted to drink in the dorm, I would just call my big sister Megan and say,
uh-huh.
will you give me some beer? We're going to get some pizza. And then Courtney and I would just sit by the window and smoke a cigarette, like with our little window cracked, and just smoke cigarettes and drink beer. Like we were not cool.
So cool in college.
We weren't, because we never went to parties. We just, at least not freshman year, because we were afraid of getting raped. So we would just sit in the window.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, goodness.
I love it.
Well, yes, thanks for all the good college years, Sandy, and thanks for still being an awesome person. Sounds like you're following a great cause and helping that out.
Awesome.
And thanks for listening to our podcast. All right. And if you want your chance of being a fan favorite, then, you can show your support by rating, reviewing, and subscribing on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You could write in and tell us your story. What else could you do? You could become a Patreon, and you can find all this information at our website at www.myskepticalsister.com. You can write in from there. You can do everything. So that's great. Our next movie is in a few weeks. It's just the beginning of February now. So
we got to find some sort of romance.
Oh,
scary movie. Is there?
Like
I'm sure there's like a
My Funny Valentine of Death.
Oh, the slasher.
I know. Once we started talking about Scream, I was like, that'd be a fun one to watch.
Oh,
I haven't watched Scream.
Would be
so
fun.
long.
I haven't either. I wonder if that's playing anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
How's your chainsaw book going?
It is so weird. It's called,
I love that response.
My Heart is a Chainsaw.
Oh, I wish it were a movie. That'd be the
I-
perfect movie.
Oh my gosh. I am, full disclosure, listening to it,
Oh, okay.
and I'm listening at double time speed.
Mm.
But that's how I listen to every book.
That's a little weird, Aaron.
And well, you get through so many books.
Oh, okay.
That's how I listen to them. And it really usually helps me keep focus. But I don't know. She keeps referencing all these people who are dead. And I'm like, well, when did that person die? I'm so confused. It's basically about like this 17-year-old girl who's obsessed with slashers.
Oh, okay.
And she's convinced that a slasher is going to happen in her town at some point. And she can't wait for it.
Oh.
But now there are some signs that maybe one's really going to happen. And she's like, oh shit. Like,
did I make
I
this
don't really know if
happen?
I want this to happen, but I kind of want it to happen.
I know the twist. I bet she's the slasher.
Well, they're kind of building it up. Like maybe it will be her.
I'm a genius. This is why I never had to read books.
Yeah, I
could
don't know.
always predict the end.
I don't think it's going to be her. It's good, and it's like nothing else I've ever read in my life, which I like.
Yeah.
But it is so weird. I'm all the time like, what am I listening to? This is odd. But I do like it. So.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see where it goes.
I know. She wrote a message on our Patreon that was like, after I heard you've only been listening to romances, I was like, oh, shit. But no. I like everything. I just was on a big romance kick for a while.
Well, there you go. And I mean, what is more romantic than chainsaws?
Right. My Heart is a Chainsaw. Get out of here.
Come on. That is so
So
sweet
romantic.
and sexy.
Yeah, it's not sexy. It's not a sexy book at all. All right. Well, thank you guys for all of your support. Go to our website, write in, and we'll talk to you next week.
Salakala.
La 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 la.
What do I have to do? I did brown sugar and butter the other day. I had to melt it for something. What was I making? Carrots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I licked the spoon. I was like, I could drink this.
Yeah.
I won't because I'm a grown adult, but I could totally,
But
I could totally drink this.
Yeah, I hear that. Our house was a split. I had so many. She
Of
turned
course.
the other eye.
Yeah.
Turn the whatever. She wasn't really.
She turned a blind eye.
She turned a blind eye. Thank
Uh-huh.
you. I'll live with Macy Grace. Macy Grace. I don't even know her name. I'm reading about Aunt Grace.
You don't get to because you
No.
don't even know her name.
Whoops. We would tear apart the house because we didn't want to deal with the drama of drama and the drama of Richard.
The drama of
The
drama.
drama of drama.
The
I'm calling him drama.
of drama. And I knew, excuse me. Let's do that again. Sorry, that was so ladylike.